Hey guys, welcome back to the Sal Pitera channel, and today we are in Mahogany Bay, Honduras. This is Carnival Cruise Line's port, and it's a 360-degree virtual tour. So what that means is if you're wearing a pair of 360-degree goggles, you can put those on and you can look all around. Or if you just take your phone or mobile device and turn it, you'll be able to see 360 degrees as we take a tour of this port for Carnival Cruise Lines. This is probably one of Carnival's most beautiful ports. As you can see ahead, the Carnival Miracle is parked just off the beach. And on this video, we're going to be walking back to the cruise ship and giving you an idea of what the beach is like here and the port itself. Now, one of the amazing things about this port and this beach is that it's 100% free, and it's connected to Carnival's private cruise port, which they built for their ships. Now, you can walk to this beach for free, which is about a 5-minute walk. It's inside the gates of the cruise port, or there's actually a chair lift that you can purchase that will bring you here. It's $14 per day, and you can use it as much as you want to go back and forth. We did purchase that this morning, so on this video, we'll be taking the chair lift in just a couple of moments. But since everything is free here at this point, well, most things, everything that you would need to enjoy the beach is free. The chairs are free. There's a little extra charge for the ones with the green awnings on them, but walking over here is free. And because you're so close to the cruise port, if you get hungry, you don't have to eat in any of the restaurants. You can just walk back to the cruise ship and you could have your lunch free as well. Now, obviously, if you look over here, there are things like hair braiding. You'll find game rooms, there's bars and restaurants here. Those are not included, even though the cruise port is owned by Carnival. The prices here are actually pretty good though. We ate lunch here this morning for 2 people with a couple of cocktails. We paid about $35. The jerk chicken, the nachos, everything here is wonderful. And the atmosphere is awesome as well. Now, we did put out a second video of this cruise port as well. We put out a video that was not 360 degrees. We just finished making that walking from the cruise ship, and then we'll make this 360-degree video walking back to the cruise ship. Watch your step here. As I said in the other video, there's only 2 ports really where you have this kind of vibe on a free beach at the cruise, and that is going to be here and in Grand Turk. Grand Turk also has a beach that's literally right there at the end of the pier on the cruise ship, and you really can't go wrong. But if you're looking for a quiet, peaceful day, there's always chairs available here. It's plenty of chairs, and you'd never know that this port right now is at its capacity with 2 cruise ships and 2 very large cruise ships in the fleet as well. So passenger-wise, you're looking at about 7,500 passengers here right now and about 2,000 crew. But as you can see, if you look out over the water, I mean, it certainly doesn't seem overcrowded here at all. And where else can you go? If you swivel around right now, if you can't see, you'll see that the Carnival Miracle is literally parked steps from your beach. So it is literally like getting a chair or going in the water right on a postcard. I mean, you really can't beat the beach that they built here for cruise passengers. No, hole in the dirt. And there are water toy rentals here as well. You can paddleboard here if you want to rent items. There's a river, which I'll show you as we get on top of the ski lift. There is shopping on this side before we get to the regular port side, but we're not going to take you through those shops. I'll take you and show some of the shops on the other side as soon as we get off of the lift. Thank you. And This is the sky lift. It's $14 for adults. Sorry about that, I think I hit my microphone. It's $14 for adults and I believe $6 for children. And that is all day riding, as much as you want to ride back and forth. Again, you can walk this totally free. It's only about a 5, maybe 10-minute walk. Thank you, sir. Now this area you're going to see just ahead of me as we go up the lift, this is a private area of the beach. This area is additional. It's not really expensive. I believe it's about $100 to rent a cabana with some chairs out front. And this is the closest place to the cruise ship. You also get a little private beach, which you'll be able to see coming up here in just a couple of moments as well. If you look over towards the Carnival Miracle, there is the private beach if you rent one of these cabanas. Now again, there are lots of things that you can do that cost money here at Mahogany Bay, such as hair braiding. There is a fish massage where little fish actually bite the dead skin off of your feet, which I tried this morning, and it's a very interesting experience. You can eat at the restaurants here. All of those are additional because while you're at a Carnival-owned port, all of these items are owned by third parties. But it is entirely possible to come here to this port, never spend a single dime here off the cruise ship, and still have an absolutely wonderful time. Like I said, if you look up ahead, you can start to see the path where people are walking over. You can literally get off the cruise ship, walk over, grab a free chair, enjoy the beach, enjoy the water. You can even walk back to the cruise ship for lunch, come back out, and literally not spend a single dime in this port and have just an absolutely fantastic time. And if you look kind of downward and to the right, you will see that there's the walking path. We got some people in another chair playing some music. Now, as you can see, if you look over to the left, the Carnival Miracle's parked there, and the Glory, which is the ship that we are on this week, is parked there as well. Now off to the right, if you look down to the river area, I'll swing the camera around, you will see some other paid attractions. As soon as we get past these trees, you'll be able to see them. You'll see kayaks that are available for rent, and you can kayak up the river and spend the day kayaking. They also have pens there for swimming with the dolphins and things of that nature as well, which are shore excursions that you purchase on board the cruise ship. I don't think they're open today because I haven't seen anybody over there all day. But you should start seeing them coming up here very shortly. There you go. And now you can see people in the kayaks and the paddle boats. And you can see the pens as well where they keep the dolphins. And the unique thing about swimming with the dolphins here in the Caribbean, as opposed to going to someplace like SeaWorld, is they're actually kept right in the ocean water here. Rather than creating a tank for them and then putting chlorine in the water and keeping the water that way, the dolphins are actually kept in their native environment here. They just put a pen out in the ocean and allow the water to penetrate through right from the seawater, which is probably the best for the dolphin, I would imagine, than giving them treated water, having them have the water right from their environment. Swing the camera back this way. And again, you'll see the Carnival Miracle parked, the first berth here at Mahogany Bay. Like I said in my other video, it's always hard to tell people what a cruise ship is like, how big it really is, because when you see it on a video, I mean, you really don't get the grasp of how big it is. The only thing I can tell you is if you look towards the right, you'll see a tent set up there in the pier, and you can actually see people walking. They probably look like little dots in the video. Those are actually people. And to give you another idea, those little lifeboats that are on the side, each one of those boats holds 150 people. So they're actually much bigger than they look on film. And then if you take that and compare it to the size of a cruise ship, we'll say that the larger lifeboats there are about the same size as the trailer part of an 18-wheeler truck. So the Carnival Miracle, she's about 3 football fields long. I believe she's 16 decks high, counting the crew decks underneath. It's literally like taking a skyscraper and turning it on it to its side. Going to the beach?
We are over there.
And now we're coming back into the actual port side. Now the reason I say port side is here at Mahogany Bay, there's two different areas. You have the beach side and you have the port side, which is where you get on and off of your cruise ship. Now Carnival has done a wonderful job throughout the Caribbean at many of its ports in building and designing specific areas that are just for their cruise passengers where their boats pull into port. The downside to it, in my opinion, is they all kind of look the same. The upside to it is you can literally stay in your cruise port at lots of these ports and never have to leave to go check out the outside city, especially in a place like this where the outside city can be a little dangerous if you don't know where you're going, where you literally feel the comfort of being here in your cruise port and not having to worry about the safety of venturing out and finding anything that you want to do, from shopping to food to beaches to water sports. I mean, it's all right here. And then, of course, like I said before, the added benefit is if you don't want to pay, you know, between $30 and $40 for a lunch here, you're literally steps from your cruise ship. You just walk up the dock, back onto the ship. Only takes a few minutes and you can have your lunch, and then you can come venture back out into port. So this is actually kind of unusual. The chairlift usually doesn't stop this much. The reason why it stops is that it allows handicapped folks and folks with special needs, or just need a little extra time getting onto the seats or getting off at the exits. It stops for them to allow them a little extra time. But really, I mean, a little extra time up here in this beautiful, peaceful environment, I mean, you really can't beat it. Hi. So I tend to get recognized an awful lot. Particularly down here on cruise ships, people are constantly saying hi to me, and at first I got to admit it was a little awkward, and now I'm very appreciative. I appreciate every single one of you that watches my videos. But it was awkward in the beginning. Now it's every 5 minutes somebody saying, "Hey Sal, how you doing? I see you on your videos." So I'm very humbled when it happens. I really am. A lot of times I don't know what to say back. So if you see me and I seem kind of awkward, that's because, well, I am kind of socially awkward. I'm much easier in front of a camera, or if you know my background, I was a radio and mobile disc jockey by trade before doing this, and on a microphone or in front of a camera, I'm very at ease. But one-on-one conversation or a small group where I have to be the center of attention and be on my, on my on game to kind of entertain people, yeah, it can be very socially awkward. But I do appreciate every one of you, and I appreciate you saying hi. And if you see me on board, most of the time I have the drink package, so see me on board and I'll buy you a drink. I will take this opportunity while we're coming back down into the port to, again, thank you for watching my videos. I can't tell you how humbling it is that I get to do this as a career, and how thankful I am for each and every one of you that have subscribed to my channel or just taken the time to watch. If you're not subscribed, take a minute down below, hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell notification next to it. That way, whenever we upload a new video, YouTube will actually send you a message letting you know that we've uploaded video or when we go live. And that's really appreciated because it'll help you know when we're putting out new videos. Also, if you really like my channel, and this is certainly not necessary to enjoy my videos, if you would like to help our channel monetarily, which allows us to travel and buy the equipment it takes to produce these videos, if you hit the join button down below, that is a $499 donation, $4.99 donation to our channel. It's a monthly donation, but you can stop it at any time. And for $4.99, it really does add up and helps us buy all this great equipment, like the camera we're using right now to make this 360-degree video for you. So that's appreciated, whether you join or just subscribe. Again, I can't tell you how appreciative I am of every single one of you. And there is our ship in berth number 2 here at the port. So here's a good way to get to see really the size of the ship. If you take a good look at the ship in front of the fluke, you'll see the Jumbotron TV. That Jumbotron TV is 40 feet down and 50 feet across. So that gives you kind of an idea. If you see the words Carnival Glory, the sea is 22 feet high. So they really are much, much bigger than they appear to be in pictures or in videos. Now we're coming down to the actual cruise port. This is where you'll get off of the ship or where you'll get back onto the ship. It'll also be where you meet for shore excursions. And what you're hearing in the background is Fat Tuesdays has an absolutely amazing club here. And Fat Tuesdays, if you haven't been, it's pretty much mostly drinks with a few food items. But their drinks are all frozen drinks. They're in kind of like Slurpee machines like you would see at a 7-Eleven. And they have all different kinds, and they're relatively easy price. I think they're about 11 bucks a drink. But the atmosphere is fantastic. And we are getting prepared to jump off. We're getting off.
No problem.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
So again, for 14 bucks, I definitely recommend you try the chairlift here. It's a great way to see over top of the port and enjoy it. And the gentlemen who operate this ride are super friendly. Thank you, gentlemen.
You're welcome, sir.
Whew, getting a little warm out. Definitely not raining no more. Okay, so now we're back at the actual port side. And this is where you'll do all your shopping. Again, I went through a lot of these stores with the regular video, the non-360 degree video, but I'm going to go through them again, so those of you with Oculus glasses or those of you using a device where you just want to look around and see all the way around, you can see the action. Now you will find a lot of jewelry stores here in the Caribbean, and the reason why is because they're tax-free. So you can buy jewelry a lot cheaper without paying tax than you would in the States. And also, most things are negotiable here, so don't forget to negotiate. Now, one thing I don't recommend, and I talked about this in the other video, is I bought my wife a beautiful diamond eternity band in port, and I bought it from a smaller shop. And I gotta tell you, I probably wouldn't do that again, like a family-oriented shop, because the band wasn't quite made properly, and it's always losing diamonds, and we're constantly having to have them replaced. And with a smaller shop, they just don't stand behind their stuff like the bigger shops do. For instance, Diamond International. Now, Diamond International does not pay me in any way. As a matter of fact, I've never even purchased anything from them. They are a sponsor of Carnival Cruise Line, so I'll tell you what that means in a minute. But Diamonds International is probably the largest jewelry store in the Caribbean. They find them literally at every single port you're going to go to. You'll find several Diamonds International stores. And the jewelry quality here at Diamonds International is superior. If I were to buy a diamond ring again, I would definitely come here. But it's not just because of the quality of their jewelry, but it's because there are so many of them that, and it's a big company, that they're known for standing behind their jewelry. And the one cool thing about Diamonds International, since they are a recommended shopping area from the cruise line, if you were to have something happen to your jewelry here, and Diamonds International doesn't stand behind it, Carnival Cruise Lines will stand behind it, and they will get it fixed to your satisfaction, whether that means replacing it, getting it fixed. If something were to happen where you're just not satisfied, Carnival will stand behind you. But they do that to a lot of stores. It's not just Diamonds International. So when you're on board, whether it be Carnival or another cruise line, make sure you check with their shopping expert, or look at the literature they put inside of your stateroom, because there are lots of stores like that in the Caribbean that have deals worked out with Carnival where they back that particular store. And a lot of them back it not only for warranty issues, but they'll back that item for price guarantees. Make sure you got the lowest price. If you see it at home and it's at a lower price, a lot of times they'll actually refund the difference to you. So this is just Island Outfitters, another store here at the port. Sells, as you can see, t-shirts and novelties and lots of things that say the name of the island on it. Piranha Joe. Piranha Joe is kind of a staple here in the Caribbean. It's a brand that you will see all over the Caribbean, which is kind of odd since there's really no piranha in the Caribbean. But if you go to the islands, I definitely recommend going into Piranha Joe at least once and grabbing something that says Piranha Joe, because it's just one of those things in the Caribbean where you can go home and say you really took a piece of the Caribbean heritage home with you, because everybody that goes to the Caribbean knows Piranha Joe. Thank you. You too. Ooh, sky looks like it's going to rain up there behind the cruise ship. So we'll take a quick walk down to the craft market, and then we'll head back and we'll show you how to get back on the cruise ship when you're ready to get back on. Crazy Ice and Gelato. This port really specifically looks a lot like Amber Cove in the Dominican Republic, which is real close to here. But the layout and where you get in and out, even the booth in the center, just is very reminiscent of Amber Cove. As you can see, there's lots of stores for you to go in and shop. We are going to check out the craft market, because there's one thing I wanted to tell you about the craft market. You're going to find a craft market. It may not be inside the port, but you'll find a craft market at literally every Caribbean port you go to. If it's not in the port, it'll be in the city somewhere. But these are the locals. These are the non-giant names. Again, I wouldn't buy jewelry from them per se, but you'll find a lot of local crafts. And I'm here to tell you, by shopping in the craft market, that's a great way to support the locals, the people who really depend on people to come here. So when you go into a Caribbean port, always visit the local craft market and support the local craft market. Now, one thing about the craft markets I will tell you is that most of the time things in the craft market are negotiable. And you'll find some ports that's a lot more than other ports. Like, for instance, if you go to Jamaica, they actually expect you to negotiate, because they are going to start with their prices super, super high. Where in a market like this one, I probably pay what is marked, because I find that they don't really expect you to negotiate here as a lot of other ports do. But places like Mexico and Jamaica, I mean, the item that they start out at $50, you could probably actually buy for about $10. So just read the market you're at. You'll understand by the people. And, you know, there's always going to be people down in the comments below that are going to say, no, those people, you shouldn't haggle with them. You shouldn't work on the prices with them. And again, I'm going to go against that and say it really depends on what port you're at. If you go to Jamaica, the Jamaicans know you're going to haggle on the price. They want you to haggle on the price. As a matter of fact, they know the minute you start haggling on the price, they probably have a sale. So they actually start their prices much, much higher than they actually expect to sell them for, knowing that when you get in there, you're going to negotiate prices with them. It's funny, usually when I go to a cruise port, especially when I'm making videos, I get a lot of the locals trying to get me to visit their booths, and they get me, trying to get me to go over by saying, hey, Mr. Clean, come here, Mr. Clean, come here. We haven't gotten that on video today, thank goodness. Drives me insane. No Mr. Clean comments down below. Okay, so we are going to head back towards the cruise ship, and we'll show you how easy it is to get back on board. We are headed back. Now, when you board a cruise ship, when you're first getting on board, wherever your embarkation is, you got to bring a passport or a birth certificate or documentation in order to get you on board the cruise ship. When you're in port of call, don't bring those items out into port of call with you. Leave them in the safe in your room. You don't need them, and you don't want to take any chance of losing them, because then you'll have an awfully hard time getting back into the United States at the end of your cruise. Instead, leave those in your safe. Take a picture of them on your phone just so you have a backup copy of them. The only thing you need to bring with you when you go out into port is going to be your ship and sail card. You are going to need to bring a form of government ID, like a driver's license or an ID card. And then you're going to bring a credit card or some type of money that you can access in the event of an emergency, and some cash so that you have money if you would like to purchase some things where you don't want to use a credit card, such as small purchases. Almost every port that United States cruise ships go to will take your local American money. So in most cases, there is no need for you to go and pay to exchange money, so you have local money for a port. They know you're coming, they expect the cruise ships, they expect the American dollars, so anyone who tells you to go out and start paying to exchange money before you go on a cruise, I promise, don't listen to them. Also, as far as using your credit card in port, their credit card machines are going to ring by the local currency. Like, for instance, we bought a thing today where fish eat the dead skin off your feet, and it was, I believe, $15 per person, but my credit card receipt said $700 and something. So when that happens, just on the one that you sign and give back to them, just write the American currency on there that they quote you. That way, if they ever try to back it up and say, no, this was American, you have that receipt on file and they can't prove otherwise. Most of the time, your credit card will automatically do that conversion for you. So this is the Duffer Shop. Duffer, of course, stands for duty free. Duty free means if you purchase anything in here with the intent on bringing it back to the United States, you don't have to pay tax on it. Now, there is some limitations on the amount of cigarettes or the amount of liquor you can bring back before you'll have to pay tax to the American government on it. But for the most part, everything you purchase in here, you're not going to have to pay tax on. This is actually a small duty-free shop. Most of them are much, much larger than this. But they are known for sundries, they are known for liquor, they are known for cigarettes, and they are known for jewelry. So any type of those purchases, you'll be able to get a lot cheaper simply because you're not paying all the taxes that the United States, not just the sales tax, not just the sales tax, all of the normal taxes that go through selling those type of items in the United States. So we are here back at the port. And your camera's going to shake a little bit because I have to get my identification out. How you doing, sir?
Very good.
Thank you. And that's it. That's how you get back on through the security to get to the ship. And this is the beautiful Carnival Glory. I think from this vantage you might be able to get a little better view of what the size of these ships really are. Now what's amazing about these ships is how clean they really are, especially on the outside. You'll see by the anchor slot there, or the slot where they tie the ship up, you'll see some bronze areas where the salt water turns it. They paint these ships from top to bottom, all the way on the exterior. The entire ship gets painted once a month. There's always somebody, you don't see them today because they're probably on the other side of the ship, but whenever you're in port, you will always see people on the exterior of the ship painting with special marine paint in order to keep the elements from corroding the ship, and they really do an absolute wonderful job. Go down this side. That will show you how easy it is to get on board a cruise ship. And I am going to put this through the metal detector, so the screen will probably go blank for a couple of seconds. Those are mostly employees getting off the ship, I can tell you. This vessel is operating on security level 1. I wish I could tell you what that meant, but I don't know. Hello, dear. So that's it for that. They just literally scan your sign and sail card and you are checked back in on board. Now when you get back on board, you do have to place all of your metal items through the metal detector, which keeps us all safe.
Sir, just off your camera. No video here.
Okay.